Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So, today we have a battle against Hydra, another random person offline. So yeah, looking at their team on the side there, looks to be pretty powerful, pretty strong looking team there. Looking at my team, it is the same one that I've been using the past several games here. So, what do I want to lead with in this one? I think we're just going to go with the Rotom, actually. Seems like a pretty solid choice. And we'll go ahead and see how that works out, as they are still making their selection there. Alright. Okay, so there he is, and he's going to go ahead and lead with the Vaporeon, as we led with the Rotom Wash. So that's actually great for us. I don't believe he has any electric immunity on the team here, so we can pretty safely go for a nice choice specs Volt Switch here right out of the gate. That's exactly what we're going to do, and see what he wants to do here. It should hit something for a lot of damage. Regardless, if he stays in, it might actually take him out, since we are max special attack choice specs. As he does stay in, we hit him up with that Volt Switch, we do outspeed, and it is going to take this thing all the way down to about quarter HP. He does survive, and he's going to go ahead and pop a Citrus Berry to give him some HP back, and then of course we are going to be pivoting out here. And what do we want to switch in to face the Vaporeon? I think we probably just go for the Iron Valiant, actually, as this thing, I wouldn't imagine it's going to go for a Water move against the Rotom, but we'll see, as there is the Iron Valiant, and this thing's going to go for a Baton Pass, actually, so going to get the slow pivot on us, which is interesting. They are going to get to choose a matchup now against our Iron Valiant, so we'll see what they want to bring in here. The only benefit is we are Choice Scarf, so it is going to be the Ceruledge. So the only benefit, as I said, is we are Choice Scarf, so we know we outspeed. We could hit this thing with a knockoff. It's probably going to want to set up, so I feel like the best course of action is to just knock off, so that's what we're going to do. We do outspeed, obviously. We go for the knockoff. Going to knock this thing into the red, but it does survive and get rid of its clear amulet, which is interesting. Going to go for a bulk up, actually, which is also interesting. Going to get an attack and defense increase on this thing, so that's actually fine by me, as we can definitely take this thing out with another knockoff, so that's what we're going to do. It's going to go for a Shadow Sneak to get some chip on the way out. It is actually going to take us down by almost half, which is quite a lot of damage from +1, but we do get the next Shadow Sneak, or I should say knockoff, after the Shadow Sneak, which is going to take the Ceruledge out and knock him down to 5. So that is pretty strong for us. He's probably going to realize we're Choice Item at this point, so he's going to come in with the Weevil, which is not great. Obviously, we can't stay in on this matchup, so I think our best switch to this thing is probably just going to be to go straight to the Earthworm, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So there it is, our special shiny Earthworm, of course. And he's just going to go for the Fake Out, so that's going to do next to nothing to the Earthworm, which is great. And then we are just going to heal, I think, all of that damage off, yep, with the leftovers. So we have a little bit of a choice to make now, because I don't know if he's really going to want to stay in on this matchup. I kind of don't think he will. So knowing that, we could definitely Shed Tail out and put ourselves in a pretty strong position against whatever he switches in. So I think we're going to attempt to do that, actually. We're just going to try to pop the Shed Tail off here, as indeed he is going to go for the switch, which is great. And he's going to be switching in with the Vaporeon once again. So there that thing is back in as we get the Shed Tail off. So we are going to lose half our HP there and create a substitute, of course, and then pivot out, which is obviously great. So what do we want to bring in to face the Vaporeon here? We already know this thing has Baton Pass. It's used its item up. How do we want to play this? how do we want to play this? I think, you know what? I think we're actually going to go for, we're going to go back into the Iron Valiant here. So we are going to be set up behind the Substitute, which is pretty nice. Now their fighting immunity is gone, so I think we can pretty safely just go ahead and go for a close combat here for max damage output. Of course, we're going to outspeed this thing. Close combat incoming, and that is going to take the Vaporeon out from that range, which is incredible, as we do get our defenses dropped, but that's okay. That is going to get rid of the Vaporeon and knock him down to 4, so that is pretty solid for us. So we'll see what he wants to bring in here in response. It is going to be the Weevil again, so that is an interesting choice. I think there's no reason for us not to just go ahead and go close combat again here, so that's exactly what we're going to do. This thing is going to go for an Ice Shard, trying to break the Substitute here. Is it going to be enough? Yes, unfortunately, thanks to our defense drops, it is going to be enough to break the sub. We are going to get the next close combat, though, and that is going to knock this Weevil all the way down to a Focus Sash. So it is going to survive because of that, and we are going to take another round of defense drops here. So this thing is actually going to activate a Pickpocket and steal our Choice Scarf, so I did not see that coming. But that is exactly what just happened to us. We just got pickpocketed. So that is a very interesting turn of events here. So that means the Weevil is going to outspeed us. We definitely don't want to stay in now that it's stolen our Choice Scarf for sure. So we're just going to go back to the Earthworm here and see what he wants to do. But that is a very interesting turn of events that definitely benefits him greatly. So we're going to come back in with the Earthworm, as this thing is going to go for another Ice Shard here. Not going to do too much damage to the Earthworm, which is nice. And then we are going to regain some HP with the Leftovers. So he's definitely, I don't think, going to want to stay in on this matchup. But even so, all things considered, our best bet is probably just going to be to go for the Iron Head anyway. So that's what we're going to do. We'll see what he wants to do here. So, what is it going to be? What is he going to want to do? He is definitely thinking about this one. Okay, so he is going to go for the switch, kind of as expected. Then he's going to switch directly into the Bronzong. So that's not great for us, as that thing comes in. We go for the Iron Head. Not going to do much of anything to that thing. And then we are going to get some HP back with the Leftovers once again, as this thing is also going to get some HP back with its Leftovers. So we can't really stay in on this thing. However, I think he's probably just going to want to maybe set screens and or hazards here. So we actually do have enough HP that we could actually Shed Tail again at this point, and I kind of want to do that. To try and get in an advantageous position again, so I think I'm going to do just that, as we actually do outspeed this thing, which is nice. We get the Shed Tail. We are barely going to survive that with 6 HP, which is nice. We do get the pivot out, of course, with the sub up, which is great. I think we're going to actually go... What do we want to go into here? I think we'll go into the Farigiraf, actually. So we're going to come in with this thing, and we are going to get set up behind the Substitute, which is nice, as this thing's going to go for an Iron Defense. So that is going to increase its physical defense greatly, which is obviously potentially bad news for us, but we are in with a special attacker, which is nice, although this thing is going to get some HP back with the Leftovers again. So in this position, there's really no reason for us not to just go for a Calm Mind, so that's exactly what I'm going to do, as this thing does stay in. We go for the Calm Mind here, which is going to go ahead and get us a +1 special attack and special defense, which is obviously great. And this thing is going to go for another Iron Defense, which is going to give it another huge defense increase. So it's sitting at +4 physical defense now, which is kind of fine, because we do have our special attackers to deal with this thing, and then it gets the rest of its HP back with the Leftovers. So I think in this situation, we might as well just go for the Calm Mind again. I don't see a reason not to, as we do outspeed this thing we're going to get the second Calm Mind here, and that is going to increase our special attack and special defense even farther, which is awesome. We're going to be at +2 of each now, as this thing is going to go for a body press, and that's scary. So body press at +4 defense is definitely bad news for us. That's definitely going to break the substitute here. So we definitely have to stay in and attack this thing. At +4, I don't know if we can live a body press, but we're going to have to try. We're going to go for the Shadow Ball this turn, since the sub is down, and we'll see what he wants to do here. I don't know if we can take this thing out with a +2 Shadow Ball, but we'll see what happens, as he's actually going to go ahead and pop his Terra, so that is definitely bad news for us. So he's going to go ahead and terrestrialize the Bronzong into a Fire type. So that is an interesting turn of events here. So Terra, Fire, Bronzong, offensive, very interesting. We are going to go for the Shadow Ball here. We're only going to get neutral damage off of it now, which takes it down by a little less than half. He goes for the body press in return. We can actually survive the body press with 19 HP in the red, which is incredible. Farigiraf hanging on for us there, as both of us are then going to get some HP back with our leftovers. So the only play we have here is just to stay in and go for a Psychic at +2. I hope it's enough to KO him, but we're going to find out. He stays in, Psychic incoming, and it is going to be enough to go ahead and get rid of that Bronzong and knock him down to, I believe, 3. So that is a great turn of events for us there. Pretty interesting turn of events, as we do get some HP back with the leftovers. So Farigiraf really coming through for us here, which is awesome. So we'll see what he wants to bring in response. It is going to be the Weevil once again, obviously. And so, yeah, he's actually, yeah, so there's really no reason for us to switch at this point. So we're just going to try and Shadow Ball this thing, but obviously he is going to outspeed us. Go for the Icicle Crash. He does not miss, and obviously that will finish the Farigiraf off from that range and knock us down to 5. So the only good thing about this is we know now that he's Choice Scarf locked into Icicle Crash, since he has our Choice Scarf. So that means that we can switch in with the Rotom relatively safely here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And so I think based on what he has left, there's no reason for us not to just go for a Choice Specs. Well, could we? Yeah, I feel like we just go for the Choice Specs Volt Switch to play it safe here. That's what we're going to do, as he actually stays in, so he's going to go Icicle Crash again. That is going to do some chip damage to us. He does not get the flinch, thankfully. We're going to go Volt Switch in return, and that'll definitely be enough to finish the Weevil off and knock him down to 2. So that is good news for us. So the only bad news about that is we're going to have to show first on the switch in. So he's got 2 Pokemon left. He has the Glamora and the Breloom, I believe. So I think what we're going to do here, how do we want to play this? How do we want to play this? That is a good question. Alright, so I think we're actually going to go for the Iron Valiant. So we should, even without our Choice Scarf, be outspeeding both of those Pokemon, which is what we need. So we'll see which one he wants to bring in to face the Iron Valiant. So, who is it going to be? It is going to be the Glamora. So he's going to come in with that thing. I feel like these things are usually Focus Sash, obviously, but I think the best play we have here is just to go for a Psycho Cut, so that's exactly what we're going to do, as we do outspeed, obviously. Psycho Cut going to take this thing down by a little more than half, and it's also unfortunately going to trigger the Toxic Debris to set the Toxic Spikes up on our side of the field. He goes for a Sludge Wave in return, unfortunately, and unfortunately we cannot take that, so that's going to knock our Iron Valiant out and knock us down to 4, as this thing will regain some HP with its Black Sludge. So, still not in a terrible spot here. I think what we can do in this situation is we can go ahead and just come in with our Rotom once again. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And so I think we can just pretty safely, I'm pretty sure a Choice Specs Volt Switch from that range will take it out, and I really don't want to miss a Hydro Pump. So we're just going to go ahead and go for the Volt Switch again here. No reason not to, as he does stay in, he does outspeed. Sludge Wave incoming. Going to knock us all the way down to a quarter HP. We do get poisoned as well, which sucks. But we are going to be able to go for a Volt Switch in return here, which is going to be enough to knock the Glamora out and knock him down to just one Pokemon, which is great. We are going to get the Pivot, of course, which means we do have to show first, but we know his last Pokemon is the Breloom, so I think what we want to do here is actually just go ahead and come in with our Salazzle, so that's exactly what we are going to do. And we are going to soak up those Toxic Spikes, of course, which is great. And so his last Pokemon here is going to be the Breloom, so we know we should outspeed this thing for sure. I don't really want to take any unnecessary risks at this point, because even though we are up 4-1, 2 of those 4 Pokemon are on death's door at this point, so we're just going to go ahead and play it safe with a Sludge Bomb here, as we do outspeed, obviously. Sludge Bomb incoming, and that actually is going to be enough to just go ahead and one-shot that Breloom outright, and that is game. So we are going to win that one 4-0 against Hydra, but that was actually a pretty fun match, I thought. Pretty competitive game as well, and just an all-around good one. All right. So, that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. Also, this is going to be the last match that I post with this team. I did have a lot of fun using it, and it did work out pretty successfully for me. But as is always the case, I am going to be putting it to the side now, and starting up next time, I'm going to have one more brand new team for you guys. So, stay tuned for that. That's it, and we'll see you next time.